Hello, it's TK Sunday on Local Sports Pro. The Premier League in the past weekend was week full of surprises, actions, goals, and the talking point last week was Liverpool versus Manchester United at Anfield. I want to talk about some of the reasons I think Liverpool lost that match to Manchester United. A good game for Manchester United. I'm not trying to talk down Manchester United. They've evolved, and on this channel we've talked about how they've improved on the right hand side. Amad Diallo linking up with Bryan Mbeumo. We've really, we saw that coming, and it was a good game for Manchester United. But I think personally that Liverpool would have had that game if they put some things in place. Like, for example, from the beginning, Liverpool defense line has been struggling. Van Dijk is not being able to manage some attacking opposition he has. But also, from the start of the season, the front line of Liverpool has been very formidable. Cody Gakpo, Hugo Ekitike, and Mohamed Salah. Now, here's the problem. When they got the record-breaking sign on Alexander Isak, now, this happens to best of the players. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking down on Alexander Isak, but this happens to best of the players around the world. When you get to a new team, sometimes you need a little space to find yourself in the team. Yeah, you need some time to get your rhythm in the team or in the league. It's not a talk down, but I believe that when they started this season in Liverpool, Gakpo, Ekitike, and Salah were almost invincible. Like, they will bring the ball, they will bring the game to your own half, and they will utilize every chance. Now, at the introduction of Alexander Isak, there's been a lot of sentiment about the startup. Based on the record sign on £125 million, and probably they think he should be starting every game. But I don't think that's true, because if you ask me, Ekitike deserves a startup in place of Alexander Isak. Not just because Ekitike has already found his rhythm in the team. Now, take for a player who, on his debut game in the Premier League, he gets a goal, gets 2 assists. The second game, he gets a goal. Now, you don't bring down the momentum. You don't switch off that momentum. You keep him going, because it's not all players who come to the Premier League that starts on a right or a strong note that keep up to the end. But the least Arne Slot should have done is keep Ekitike flowing. And Alexander Isak, with all due respect, should come in probably in the second half when he finds himself. Then you can start him from the first half. Now, in the game against Manchester United, as you also, when Ekitike was brought in the second half, the chances he created, the shots he got, or the shots he got from, even the one that from the shots he got, showed that if this guy was probably in the beginning of the match, the outcome of this game would have been different. Now, some of you might think, it's not too early to judge this, but you know that in the Premier League, once you start missing details like this, when it matters most, you would not be able to catch up. Of course, this happened to Arsenal in the last 2 seasons. This happened to Arsenal. So I don't think Liverpool should back down on what they already have. No time to be experimenting anything. Just keep going at what you have that's working, and then the others will be coming in the second half when they find their. Of course, Alexander Isak could go on to become one of the most sensational signings in Liverpool, but right now he needs time to find himself. So I think Arne Slot should give priority to what he has that is already working, and give the others a chance in the second half or something. But don't do away with what you already think or what you already know is working for you. Now, that is my take on the match at Anfield, Liverpool versus Manchester United. Good goal, Harry Maguire. I still think Liverpool needs to fix that front line and fix it once and for all. Because if they keep dropping the point, little drops of water, my people, they say makes an ocean. Okay, see you next time.